We are desperately looking for good news in this time of pandemic. More than 50,000, rather closer to 60,000 people have already died of it. And there is no sign of the pandemic coming to an end. And in largest ever relief operation in India, over 800 million people are under government support system to tide over hunger and economic hardships. And we have already spent 3 seasons in lockdown. However, halfway into the monsoon seasons, we have a piece of good news. Rather, an exceptional development in this pandemic period, and it's coming from unusual places. The current Kharif season is exceptional. In comparison to last year, over 8 million hectares of more farmlands are under cultivation this season. 8 million more. Due to the huge reverse migration of workers after the national lockdown, there are also more people engaged in cultivations. Mostly those who once quit farming because it was not remunerative. All types of crops have reported increase in acreage, but the increase in rice acreage is the highest in the last 5 years. You have to remember that rice is the staple crop in Kharif, something that sustains the maximum number of farmers, and the monsoon is expected to be above normal. That's a additional good news. There is another reason to be happy about agriculture this season. A latest report from the State Bank of India shows that agriculture is the only one to be immune from the impacts of COVID-19 pandemic. Rather, this is the only major economic sector that would witness a growth rate of 3% this fiscal, and it's a decent growth rate. Rest are going to experience negative growth rate, what we call the contraction in the economy. And many have started talking in terms of this fueling the revival of the country's economy. If not this fiscal, definitely in the next one. Basically, it's premised on the belief that increase in agricultural yield will lead to more income, and this in turn would lead to more consumption among rural Indians. So the revival of the rural economy would ultimately add on to the sluggish national economy. Now, the question arises, rather it's a critical question. Are farmers happy about it? Who made it possible? Is it really a revival of agriculture sector in India? And that also amidst a pandemic? We reported that farmers are not jubilant. Farmers are no more happier about a normal monsoon and bumper harvest. It might sound very ironic. In fact, in recent times, they dread a bumper harvest, and they have a reason. In recent times, they don't see a natural correlation between their physical yield from farming and that of the income yield out of it. Farmers were always out on street demanding more assured price, citing huge losses even with enhanced support price. Rather, the more they produce, the less they earn for their produce. This is despite consistent increase in demand for food in the country. This is despite increase in minimum support price every year, as recent as last June. India ranks second in agricultural production globally, overtaking countries such as USA, Russia and Brazil. But farmers' per capita income from farming is negligible in comparison to these countries. An Indian farmer has annual per capita income of 96,700 rupees or 8,000 rupees per month. But in the US, the average per month earning of a farmer is 5,32,000, that's per month. In the 5 years, they have been giving us bumper harvest. There is not a single year that they didn't have a bumper harvest, but always on the street protesting for fair price. According to a report by the Organization of Economic Cooperation Development and the Indian Council of Agricultural Research, Indian farmers have lost 45 lakh crore rupees due to non-proper pricing of product between 2000 and 2017. Even the minimum support price, which the government pursues as the primary support system to ensure fair price, cover just 6 to 10% of farmers. And this is the finding of the Committee on Doubling of Farmers' Income. This means every year farmer lose around 63,000 crore rupees for not being able to sell their produces, which they have already made investments for. Just to make sense of this staggering figure, this amounts to 70% of the investment required making available cold chain infrastructures essential for avoiding post-harvest losses. This is also a concern for the political leadership, as the promise to double farmer incomes by 2022-23 is hardly 30 months away. Arguably, this year would have been that springboard to catch up with the target given all favorable conditions. By 2022-23, to achieve this target, a farmer's annual income has to be 1,92,694 from 96,703 in 2015-16. This needs a 10.4% annual income growth till the target year, according to government's own estimate. To achieve this growth rate, the current income ratio of a farmer has to also fundamentally change. From current 60 to 40 ratio of income from farms and non-farm has to be turned into 70:30. But this involves a farmer increasing his or her investment on farming by 12.5% annual. That's a big number. This is possible if or she earns enough to invest more, and that's not happening. The State Bank of India research also estimates that due to COVID-19 pandemic, the per capita loss for all India is around 27,000. This is also for the farmers who would be incurring further losses this year due to the market glut. It is a scary climax to a seemingly milestone year for farmers. And for those who hope a rural revival would lead to national economic boom, the same research report says that the rural revival would have not much impact on the country's GDP. This is because the urban population spends more than the rural people on food and other commodities. And they are not spending now due to loss in income. If farmers from this exceptionally favorable year cannot earn, it is going to be a troubling time for the country and also for the government's target to double farmers' income. Going by the situations prevailing, there is not much expected in terms of government actually ensuring a fair price for the expected bumper harvest in winter. This is because government's own stock of food grain is already very high. Government doesn't have simply that storage capacity to procure more food grain from the farmers at minimum support price. And for the farmer, it means another round of distress selling or even not being able to sell their harvest. This is a loss in income as usual. And addition to it, the legacy debt burden. We already know that more than 50% of Indians are already indebted, and every year by not getting a fair price for their produce, they are adding on to this debt. And if they can't again earn from an exceptional year like this, it just adds on to their losses. And that's how this dichotomy of an Indian farmer, even if they produce more, even if they give you record-breaking harvest, still they don't earn anything out of it to sustain themselves.